Well, good morning, YouTube. This is another video. Welcome back to Dory's yard. I'm outside. It is Sunday morning, kind of early. I mean, not too late, but it's about 9:30, I think. 9:30, 10 o'clock. I love my Sundays. Before I get started, first of all, I want to welcome everybody. If you're new here, my name is Dory. My channel consists of decorating, just decorating cakes, cookies, cupcakes, my yard, flowers. I love to play outside and I love to play inside, decorating all kinds of stuff. And now that I own a mobile home, uh, I try different things. I try I don't know, like DIY stuff, and I try fixing things that I never thought I could fix, at my age. So, and I feel really good about that. Um, anyway, what I wanted to tell you, the last two videos that I did on my channel, and I am wearing a microphone, by the way, today because I'm outside and there's a lot of traffic and noise and stuff, so I'm wearing a microphone. Anyway, the last two videos that I did, I decorated a small wedding cake. In the first part, there's a two-part video, part one, part two. In part one, I told you guys that I made a big decision in my life and that I was going to share that with you. So I think what I'm going to do is share it now, and then after this, I'm going to take you for a walk so you can see all my flowers. Some of them are doing really well. Others, very disappointing for me, but I'm going to show you anyway, okay? And then I'm going to cut my lawn. Anyway, so the big decision that I made starts with a little story. My whole entire adult life, I was raised to work hard. I was raised by my parents. If there's something that you want, you work hard. You work hard to achieve it, and then you have to work a lot harder to keep it. You just work hard, not to be afraid of sweat or pain, or you push through to get reach your goals and to keep your goals. That's how I was taught. So I was never good with money. Never. I don't think I ever will be. When I got to be, now raising my children and everything, I worked two jobs for 12 years, raised my children. I didn't complain about it. I just did it because we needed money. And, if I was able to work, I'm going to work, And I wanted them to be able to have the money to do the things that they wanted to do that I didn't get the opportunity to do when I was a kid. That was important to me. So we did struggle a lot, but they were able to do things and go places that I never went. My son had an opportunity to go to Canada when he was in high school on a 10-day fishing trip. I didn't have a lot of money, but I gave him what I could so he could go. My daughter, when she graduated high school, it was important to me that she got a car. She worked really hard in high school, got really good grades. I didn't have a lot of money, but we got her a used car. She got a car. So things like that. But to actually own a home or to buy a brand new car, in today's society, we need good credit. Well, I wasn't raised to have good credit. I was raised to work hard to achieve what I want. And I didn't have credit because I didn't believe in credit, because I didn't want to be in debt. I wanted the minimal amount of bills that I could ever have. But as I aged and as the cost of living kept going up and up and up, and I was living in an apartment for, oh man, almost 20 years. Rent kept going up and up and up. And I was getting older and older and older, and I had to make a change in my mindset. And I had a long talk with my daughter, and she told me about this app. It's called Credit Karma. If you go in a Play Store on your smartphone and look up Credit Karma, turned me around. Because in order to get into this community that I wanted to get into, that goal, I had to have a credit score. I had to have good credit. I didn't have any. In order to buy a home, I had to have credit. In order to get a better car, I had to have credit. I had to change. So, again, I'm not good with money. But I had a book, and I wrote down all my goals from priority number 1 to whatever goals I wanted to achieve. I wanted new dentures for my mouth. Hey, I'm 67. I wanted dentures, and I wanted new living room furniture, and I wanted to get a home, and I wanted a new car or a better car, things like that. And I wrote them down. And what's my priority? My number 1 priority at number first was my dentures, because I love to laugh and I love to smile. So I needed that. My number 2 priority was to find a home. How am I going to achieve it? What do I need to do? Just doing those steps, trying to make decisions on how to change my life for the better and to do better, and to try to save money that I was never good at. So that took a long time. It took me about, I want to say maybe 4 years after I made a decision on what I wanted to do and what goals I wanted to achieve. So to even establish credit was hard because I didn't have any. So how is a person going to get credit when they don't have credit? You know, I went out of sheer luck. I went Christmas shopping at a Kohl's department store. This was quite a few years ago. And the lady, when I got up to the counter, she asked me if I wanted to apply for a credit card that I could get like a percentage off of my bill. And I said, well, I'm not going to qualify. I don't have any credit. She goes, well, we'll just run you anyway. And then you can even if they turn you down, you'll still get money off your bill. And I thought, well, that's cool, because then that'll give me more Christmas money. So I said, okay, run my stuff. Well, they accepted me, and they gave me my very first credit card. So every time I would go in the store, I would use the credit card. I'd get up to the counter and I'd pay it off. Go in the store, buy something, go to the counter, pay it off. 100%. And I would watch Credit Karma. And I would watch how my credit started to grow. Just from that one credit card. You know, it's amazing. You know, and then after that, I decided to go to my bank. And instead of getting like, I'm not mentioning any names, I didn't want to go out into any other places to get another credit card. I wanted to go to my bank because their interest rates were way lower than a credit card company. And I got a credit card. In case of emergencies, I use it. In case I have water pipes that break in my home, or my kitchen floor needed to be replaced, my bathroom floor, things like that. I've used it. So, and I pay every month. I pay what I can afford in my budget, but I pay. So it builds my credit. I was able to get a car, build my more credit. And then I was able to get into this community and get a mobile home, which is giving me more credit. I am in debt, but it's giving me more credit. Things like that. So now the decision that I made was about my car. I was stuck in a car loan because I bought it last year, and I leased it for 3 years and loved the car. I didn't want to let it go. So I decided to keep it and buy it. But I got stuck in a loan with a high interest. I'm 67. My knees hurt, my back hurts, my hips hurt. I didn't know if I was going to be able to work for another 5 years to pay this loan off on the car. So with talking with my daughter and son-in-law and stuff like that, and just doing a lot of soul searching and trying to figure out what was best for me at my age, was to let the car go, because my goal was to get the loan paid off in full. So I took the car back to the dealership. I had a Honda HR-V. Love the car. It's a small, there's a CR-V, which is a larger Honda, but I had the HR-V, which was a smaller version, and loved it. So I took it back to the bank, or took it back to the car dealership. They offered me a little bit more than what the loan was. So I was able to pay off the loan in full. And then they gave me a little over $1,000 because I took out an extra warranty when I bought the car. So I got a little bit more extra money back. Still haven't got the money yet because it takes a while. And then I still need a car. So I bought a Mazda CX-5. It's a 2016 for $5,000. And I'm still on a loan basis, but within 2 years, the car will be paid in full. So that's a big jump. That's a big difference. Plus, I'm saving myself like $160 a month. That's a lot of money for me. You know, it adds up a lot. So with that money, I can take another extra $100 and pay on my home to get my home paid off sooner. That's my goal. So, and to try to save a little bit each month too. So that's my story. Thanks for listening if you're still here. And I hope that helps some people, even the young people and older people. You know, we all love pretty new things, but we do have to pay a big price to get those. It's a lot of money. And with the cost of living, it's hard, especially on seniors. So anyway, I'm going to take you for a little walk because I've got work to do. So I'm going to get the phone out of my stand and we'll go for a walk around my garden. Okay? All right, bear with me. I'm going to take you out. I'm going to turn you around here. All right. All right, well, take this out of the stand. Okay, that is my raised garden, or my grandma's garden sign. My oldest granddaughter got me that. I smile every time. I love you, Ashley. The butterflies are from a neighbor friend of mine. Okay, the first thing right down here on my little table, I have a fairy garden. This has not changed from previous videos. And then this is lights. I have battery operated lights in here. You can kind of see, you know, stuff like that. The flowers, they're artificial, but they're pretty. I was going to put real ones in, but I didn't want them to overgrow and hide everything. So I just left the artificial ones in there. And I might go bigger next year and do a bigger, I don't know yet. That's fun. Okay, and then I will step back so you can kind of see. This is my front porch. I have a pretty big porch. And I need to water flowers too. Okay, so this is my front door to go into my home. And then there's my table. And the fairy garden. And the grandma garden sign. And then that's the side. And there's my lawnmower. You know, so we got to cut grass here. Okay, so over here, I think these are called dianthus. I might be wrong. Let me see what this is. Yes, it is. Dianthus. It says full sun, but it gets, I want to say partial sun, like morning sun quite a bit. But it's doing okay, and I just pinched back a lot of dead ones, so it's starting to get blooms again. So we're going to step back here. I have a watering can. There we go. I'll give that a little drink. Okay. Pretty, isn't it? Okay, we'll go over here. Alright, so down here on this side of my porch, I have impatiens and marigolds. I'll give them a drink. Okay. Alright, there's a close-up of them, and these are doing pretty good. You know, they'll get a little bit more bushy. This is all, you know, beginning of August, so they'll stay blooming until we get a frost. And then up here, I have petunias. And there's these pretty purple flowers. I don't know what they are, but I found them at the nursery, and I just thought they were really cute. So they're filling it in pretty good. So there's that. Okay, I'm going to water them a little bit. All right, and then the same over here. So I have two of these planters. And they're filling in. You know, I have a bird feeder that hangs right here. And the birds come and they throw seeds everywhere, and sometimes the seeds land into this this flower container down here, and some of them will start to sprout like little grass and stuff like that. This one, for some reason, the petunias are getting leggy, and these purple things are bending over, and they're getting kind of tall, but that's okay. I'll just let them do what they do. We had one day that had like a lot of rain. I'm just putting my water can down, but I'm going to step back so you can kind of see. Kind of hard when I'm holding my phone. Okay, so there we go. There's that one. That one. And there's those. Yeah. And the blue flower, again, I got that in Arizona in a town called Sedona. It is metal art. Isn't that pretty? I had to have it. I just thought that was really stunning. So my brother lives in Arizona, and he said he'd ship it to me. So I bought it, paid him the money to ship it, and got it to Wisconsin. Okay. I'm going to go in the front of my home. I'm going to step down these stairs here. Okay. This is my walkway. It's brick. Goes all the way to the car. Now I'll show you the car I got too. So I still miss the Honda. I didn't want to sell the Honda. I didn't, but in order for the loan to get paid off, I had to. So sometimes we just have to bite a bullet, right? And it's okay. I'm grateful. And you know, the nice thing about that, it was my choice. It was I didn't have to. It was a choice. So I felt I made a good choice. So anyway, this is my new older car. There she is. This is a Honda HRV, or not a Honda HRV. That's a Mazda CX-5. So these are New Guinea impatiens. There's one. Just give them a little drink too. And 3. To get some more water. Okay. And I'll step back. So this is underneath my bay window, right below my kitchen. So this is the bay window. That's where my kitchen sink is, and the counter in the kitchen. And then this is what's underneath. Let's keep it simple. You know, I didn't want to have a lot out in the front. Just kept it simple. You know, and fall's coming soon, so I have a pumpkin I'll put in here, and I think I've got a couple scarecrows. You know, little picks, garden picks and stuff to put out here. Yeah, and then the little bulbs that you see on the shepherd hooks, those are solar lights, so at night they light up. Yeah, all right. And then my hostas, these are doing pretty good. So this is kind of like, I planted these, oh man, I want to say maybe 2 summers ago or 2 springs ago, but they're doing pretty good. They're getting a lot of blooms, and the shoots are still growing. It's doing pretty good on my whirlybird thing. Okay, so this is the porch from this side. So there's that. And this when I saw this home, especially on a corner, I'm like, ooh, I love the porch. So that's that side. And over here I have a cement patio. You know, I have a little pool that I put up here. Hi, how are you? Huh? Where'd you get a picture of? I don't understand what you mean. What do you mean? Where did you get a picture of? Where'd you get a picture of that? Show me. Show me what you're talking about. Are you taking a picture of this? Yeah, I'm taking, picture, yeah, of my flowers. Yeah, I'm taking pictures, yeah. Of these flowers? Yeah. Yeah. Aren't you supposed to be with your mom? Well, she said I could be outside. Oh, okay. All right. I like your pants. Those are cute. Yeah. But I'm just looking at flowers, okay? All right. Okay. And then these are... these aren't doing so good. Usually by August, impatiens, they're pretty much up to here. And they're little. I don't know. We've had a lot of hot weather, like in the 90s, and humid. And I just don't think that they like that kind of heat. So I don't know if I'm going to be planting these in here next year or not. But the cosmos love the heat. So I'm going to deadhead some of these. Get some of those so others can grow. They're pretty, aren't they? Yeah. These were one of my grandma's favorite flowers, cosmos. So in memory of her, I just plant them. Okay, and then over here I have more. Looks like this is bent a little bit. There we go. These are more impatiens. And I think these are called like Spanish moss, like little roses here. And spikes. I have some in that pot, and then a taller one in the center. And this is kind of cool. These are, again, those moss roses. But look at these zinnias. How tall they are. You know, they got pretty big. These were planted by seed. My granddaughter planted these. She's just so excited. She'll be here tomorrow, and I'll show her how they're blooming. We do have some in the garden beds behind the cosmos. They're growing, but they're not as tall. There's some more there. These impatiens in this garden bed are bigger, but I think there's more shade here too from the tree, so where the other one gets a lot more sun. Yeah, we got a wasp visiting. So there's those. I'm gonna step back so you can kind of see. There's that one. That's how that looks. Now you can kind of see how tall those zinnias are in that center pot. All right. And we'll take a walk to the back of my shed. I do have like a couple bird feeders here. Some finch food and regular bird seed. I love watching the birds. That's my shed. And then back here, I have hostas. These were actually given to me by a neighbor lady. She said she had a lot of them in her yard, and I met her here going to the mailbox one day to get her mail, and she said one day she just, she wants to split them up, she'll drop some off. I came home one day from work, and they were on my porch. I thought that was really cool. And she's like a snowbird. She spends half her time, I think, in Florida and half her time here, so these are doing really well. These, for some reason, aren't growing as well. I don't know why, but I mean, the first one is, but maybe a couple years, maybe the second one over there will grow a little bit bigger, but, you know, and I have a shepherd's hook here with a little hot air balloon. It's glass, and it's solar, and at night, it'll light up. There's a light in there. But isn't that cool? I just think that is just so cool. So yeah, so that's it. That's all I have. Look at this. I love nature. Look at all the red bugs down here. I wonder what, now those are not ladybugs. I wonder what, if you know what those are. What are those? I don't know. But there's a big tall piece of grass I'm going to pull out of there. And I did put landscaping fabric down, but you know, through the years, weeds will pop right through again. Whether you put it down or not. Okay. So there it is. All right, I will take you back on the porch, and that'll be the end of my tour. There's a shot from this angle. And my lawnmower. It's a Honda. I still have a Honda. Yeah, I'll show you on the front. It's still a Honda. Honda GCV. Yeah. So here we go. I have a weed eater or weed trimmer. And I'll put you back on my stand. Yeah. All right. Here we go.